having a wonderful time on our picnic. But now as we hurried back to town, I was quite frightened, for Father had discovered Confederate soldiers hiding in the woods.
Take the others back home, then we'll go to the telegraph office.
Right.
Rebel scouts were sighted 3 miles northeast of Fairfield, Pennsylvania.
Mr. March, I just heard the news. Are you certain they were rebels? It doesn't seem possible.
They were Confederate Army regulars, sir. There's no doubt about it.
But the war's been going for 2 years, and the rebels have never dared come this far north before. Why are they here now, do you suppose?
The South won a decisive victory at Chancellorsville. They're trying to advance as far as they can before our army can regroup.
Well, be that as it may, they could march in a different direction and never come here at all.
Our experts at headquarters think they'll try to surround Baltimore. That's only a few miles south of here, Mr. Mayor.
But York's so small they probably won't even stop here.
I hope you're right, Mr. Mayor.
Excuse me, Mr. March. There's a reply from headquarters coming in now.
Hi. Did you get your message through to headquarters?
Mm-hmm. We'd better get home. Your mother will be worried.
Did you receive any reply from them, Father?
Yes, dear. I'm afraid my leave's been canceled.
Father!
Hmm?
Everyone in the family will be so disappointed.
No more than I am. But I've simply no other choice. I've taught you that you must always fight for what you believe in, as I must fight now to abolish the evil of slavery.
Promise me something.
Hmm?
Don't die.
Joe.
I'm not certain I could bear it.
Joe, dear. I know how worried you must be, but I'll be just as worried about you here at home, believe me.
Then you really believe the rebels will come?
I think it's only a matter of time. The town of York might very well become a battlefield.
Oh!
War? I never imagined it could happen here. I always thought of it as so far away. But now it seems there might be fighting right here at home. Oh.
Father said that the Union will have to fight fiercely to stop the rebels from advancing on Washington.
Oh no, Father will be fighting in that battle, won't he, Joe?
We were just talking about Father and how to get him to stay a little longer.
Well, go on.
He's planning on leaving today, but I'm sure he could wait till tomorrow morning. If we all ask him ever so nicely to stay for dinner tonight, perhaps he won't leave until tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm. He's barely gotten here, and now he has to leave again. It hardly seems fair. It's agreed then, we'll ask him to stay.
Mm-hmm. That way Father will have time to order new dresses for me and Beth this afternoon. Right, Beth?
So that's what this is all about. You don't give a fig about Father staying. All you want is a new dress, right?
Course not. I want Father to stay as long as he can. That's all I care about.
I hope you mean that, Beth. And what have you to say for yourself?
I want him to stay as long as he can, too. And I also want a new dress. Is there anything wrong with that?
Yes. Your dress will have to wait. He's leaving in an hour.
But it's so far away, dear. Massachusetts is quite pretty, I suppose.
Very.
Is it really that important?
Mm-hmm. You'd all be in great danger if there's a battle anywhere close to York.
What battle, darling? All the fighting has been a long way from here.
So far. But I'm convinced that the next major battle between the Union and the Confederate forces will occur in this area. If not here in York, then somewhere close by. I'm not certain, but I believe the main battle would take place at Gettysburg.
That's less than 10 miles from here.
Perhaps now you understand why I've been so adamant the past few months about you and the girls moving to Newport as soon as possible.
No wonder you mentioned it so often. You should have told me.
I suppose you're right. But I didn't want to alarm you and the girls by insisting that we leave our beloved home until I could be certain that it was absolutely necessary.
Oh, Frederick, this house, this town are the only home our girls have known. Must we leave it?
Yes, dear, I'm afraid we must.
And all our friends, our dear and wonderful friends. I'll miss them so much.
I'll miss them too, dear.
I still can't see why we'd be in danger here. We're harmless civilians. Surely the rebels will know that.
If there's a battle and the rebels are forced to retreat, they'll have to pass through this area to get to Virginia. Men who have just lost a battle are sullen and scared and angry. As far as they're concerned, this is enemy territory. They might do anything, Mary, even set fire to the town.
All right, Frederick. I'll discuss it with the girls sometime soon.
I'd like you to talk with them right away, dear, just as soon as I leave. I want you and the girls away from here before it's too late. In fact, I've already written to Aunt March.
You wrote to Aunt March?
Mm-hmm. She'll extend you every kindness, I'm certain. My family went to visit her quite often when I was a boy. I was her favorite among the children, and she was always very good to me.
Mm-hmm. You two must have had a wonderful time. You've talked about her ever since I've known you. I feel as if I've known her for years, even though we've never met.
Leaving home and moving to a new city won't be easy, I know. But you must, nonetheless.
Oh, Frederick.
Mother, Father,
Yes, girls, what is it?
there's something we'd all like very much.
Well, what is it? Speak up, Meg.
Well,
What?
We know you have to leave, but couldn't you stay just a bit longer, just one more night? You've only been home for a day after being gone for a whole year, so please, Father, don't leave yet.
I appreciate the invitation, Meg. There's nothing I'd like better than to extend my visit here, believe me. But, like it or not, I must leave at once.
You see? I told you so.
Huh?
I told them you couldn't stay, but they wouldn't believe it.
Hannah's planned a lovely dinner, Father. Can't you at least stay and eat with us?
No, I'm afraid not, dear. The train leaves in less than an hour.
But, Father, you promised, don't you remember?
What? What do you mean, dear?
Oh, you've forgotten, haven't you?
I wish you'd tell me what it is.
Amy's only thinking of herself as usual. Really, Amy, how could you?
I don't care what you say, Joe. Besides, you already have one.
So, that's it. I promised that you'd have a new dress, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. That's what you said, Father.
Well, then Mother shall buy you one.
Oh, thank you, Father. I shall get it in Gettysburg. The shops are ever so nice. I can't wait to go.
We shan't be going to Gettysburg, Amy.
Why
What?
not?
We'll have it made right here. Mrs. Spencer will make you a fine dress, Amy, and one for Beth.
Oh, but she won't be done with the dresses you've ordered for Meg and Joe for a long time. I can just imagine how long it'll be before she's done with mine.
Meg and Joe need new dresses more than you do. You must learn patience, as your father must learn not to spoil you so much.
Well, I am...
Huh?
Excuse me, Mr. March.
Oh.
The buggy's here to take you to the station.
All right, Hannah. Thank you. Well, then.
It seems so dreadfully unfair. Father had been home for only one day after having been gone for over a year, and now he was leaving again.
Mary, dear, talk it over with the girls as soon as you can, all right?
I will.
Better be going, Mr. March, or you'll miss your train.
Wait! Father,
Yes, dear?
Here.
My, what a wonderful going-away present. Well. My precious Amy, thank you.
Farewell, my darling. Safe journey.
Goodbye.
Bye! Goodbye, I felt as if my heart would burst into 1,000 pieces. I don't suppose I'd ever realized until that moment just how desperately I'd miss my father, or how very much I loved him.
Do you think
it's very nice there.
Not much nonsense. Quiet down. The three of you are chattering like a party of magpies. How do you feel about it, Marmee?
We have a wonderful home here, and I'd hate to leave it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never known your father to insist on anything without good reason.
I don't want to go to a strange place where I've no friends.
We'll be introduced to all sorts of folks, Meg. And I'm certain you'll make lots of new friends in no time.
I don't want to leave unless we have to.
Newport is a good deal larger than York, isn't it, Mother?
Yes, that's right, dear. Your father tells me that it's also one of the oldest cities in the country.
I know Father's concerned for our safety and that that's why he wants us to leave. I don't want him to have to worry, but I really don't want to leave either.
If Father's right, we'll be in danger here.
Father has enough to worry about without having to worry about us, so I suppose we must move whether we like it or not.
This wouldn't have happened if he hadn't seen those soldiers in the woods.
Not at all, Meg. He's been thinking of moving the family to Newport for some time. He'd already written to Aunt March before he got here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I'll bet they'll have wonderful dress shops in Newport.
Amy March!
Huh?
We're talking about something serious right now.
And I'm serious about a new dress.
You're not serious about
Just
anything.
because you'd rather wear
Bickering
pants.
will only make things worse.
A week went by, and there'd been no sign of the rebel army, so we weren't quite so worried as before. While we waited for word from Aunt March, we helped the Ladies' Auxiliary prepare for the annual charity bazaar.
Goodness. My poor little Beth, you're soaking wet. Let's dry you off.
It's raining so hard, cats and dogs. But I managed to keep the cookies dry. Thank you, Mama.
There
I was
now.
soaking.
Good news, everyone. Beth has brought us some lovely homemade cookies fresh from the oven.
My sister Beth is the sweetest, kindest person I know, and is always the first to lend a helping hand to those who are in trouble or in need. So when she realized she wasn't the only one suffering from the elements, it was only natural for her to do whatever she could to help out.
Huh? Oh! Watch out! Oh! Oh dear, poor little thing. Oh. Oh, the poor dear's frozen half to death.
Meanwhile, I was trying to do a sketch of my sister Jo. I much prefer drawing animals and people rather than bowls of fruit and such. But a bowl of fruit stays perfectly still, which makes it much easier to draw than a fidgety, flibberty gibbet like Jo.
Done.
Keep reading, Jo.
Don't be silly. I finished it.
You mustn't move until I'm done.
Well, draw these flowers instead. They won't move at all.
I don't want to draw plants. They can't move and breathe like animals do.
You mean that I'm an animal?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
An animal, am I? Like a cat or a dog?
If we had a cat or a dog, I would never draw you at all.
On the way here,
Oh! Watch out! What's going on, Beth? You're knocking things about as if you were Jo.
Look. Oh.
What is it?
A kitten.
Is there a chance that we can save it, Jo?
We can certainly try, Beth. Amy, go get something to dry her off with.
Huh? Me, but,
Hold her for a minute, will you, Jo? I'll get some towels.
Hey! Oh my. The poor little thing.
Don't hold it so close, Jo. It's so filthy and ugly.
How pretty do you think you'd be if you were covered with mud?
I've got the towels.
It's awfully cute, poor little thing.
Oh. She's still shivering. What now?
She's cold. She needs to be warmed up.
Good idea. We could build a fire in the fireplace.
What? In summertime?
But how else could I keep her warm, Jo?
If you hold her quite close for a time, the temperature of your body ought to warm her, I should think.
Beth! You couldn't possibly. It's such a filthy little creature.
Yes, Amy, I shall.
The poor thing's so weak, I'm not sure you can save her no matter what you do.
If she stops breathing while you're holding her, think how horrible you'll feel.
Amy! All I can do is keep her dry and warm.
I understand warm milk is very good for kittens. She's quite hungry, no doubt of that, and after she drinks it, it'll help warm her up.
That's a splendid idea.
There you are, Amy. That warm enough?
Here it is.
Did you get it the right temperature?
It's just right. Warm, not hot, just like you said.
It didn't work.
Oh no, did you have to use this one? It's ruined. This was my favorite towel, Joe.
Sorry, Amy. Perhaps it can be cleaned.
But look at all that mud and cat hair too. It's ruined all right. Oh well, no need to fret, I suppose. It was for a good cause.
I understand your husband is the one who spotted them, Mrs. March. Is it certain they were Confederate soldiers? Yes, absolutely. You see, he got quite close to them, so there'll be no chance of a mistake.
I didn't believe the news at first. They've never come to Pennsylvania before. But when I found out the report had come from Frederick March, I knew that it must be true.
That was last week. Since then, no one's seen any sign of them. If they had been headed in this direction, I should think they'd have gotten here by now.
Yes, I suppose you're right at that.
Where are the other girls, Meg?
Amy and Joe will be coming down in just a minute, Mother.
And what about Beth, dear? Isn't she coming too?
No, Mother, not right now. She'll be busy for quite a while. It's rather difficult to explain. Marmee was just asking about Beth.
Beth found a sick kitten on the way home and is doing her best to save it.
What? A kitten?
There. Everything's going to be all right, I promise.
Well, I admire Beth's fortitude. But she must eat, so one of you will take her place for a while. You've always said you wanted a cat, Meg. How about you?
Huh, me?
And you, Amy?
Huh? Mother, I'm not up to it. If it stopped breathing, I'd faint dead away for certain.
Of course you would.
Well, I suppose that leaves you, Joe.
I suppose it does, but I wanted to anyway. Beth?
Yes?
Well now, how's the patient?
She's much better, Joe.
Oh?
Take a look. I think that we've saved her, Joe.
I agree. So why don't you take a little break? There's nothing to worry about. I'll just take your place.
You would?
Yes, now go eat something before you starve to death.
You must be hungry.
I'm sorry I missed dinner, Mother.
Oh, there's no need for you to apologize.
Then I did do the right thing, didn't I, Mother?
And I'm proud of you.
Oh! May I keep her then, Mother? Would that be all right?
Of course.
When do you think we'll move to Newport, Marmee?
Well, not for a time.
Oh, I'm so glad. My kitten is too weak to survive such a long move right now. I'd better go and have some dinner. Joe's up there waiting for me. Bye.
Huh? Bless her.
Stop! Oh, please! I just can't take anymore.
Thanks for taking my place, Joe.
She's gotten much stronger.
Joe, bring her out where we can see her.
Come on. You see?
She's really quite lovely, isn't she?
Oh. I think she just might take some milk now, Beth.
I'll be right back. I've got it all ready.
Please, can I hold her?
All right, but you must be quite gentle with her. She's still a bit weak, you know. But she's still alive, thanks to Beth. And now, she'll get stronger every day.
Do you think she could sleep with me tonight?
She's Beth's kitten, Amy. Huh? What is it?
I think she did something awful. Ah! Yuck! She did it all over me! Ah!
We better train her soon.
Aw, Milky Ann.
Thank goodness the rain has finally stopped. I think it should clear up now.
Yes.
The kitten seems much better now.
I've given her a name, Mother. She likes milk so much I've named her Milky Ann.
Milky Ann?
You like it?
I think it's a lovely name.
Oh, I'm so glad. Listen, what's your opinion? Do you think Milky Ann's a good name for you? We're going to be such friends.
We were all grateful that it had stopped raining, for we hadn't had nice weather for quite a long time. What none of us realized was that the rain had been responsible for slowing down the Confederate soldiers, and now that the skies had cleared, they were advancing again, and they were headed directly for our town. In fact, that night they were only a mile away, and would be in the streets of York the very next day.
Fortune